Alf, can you explain to me why over the last 6 to 12 months, when I go to my local sports card show, it's becoming more and more and more a Pokemon TCG show? Let's dive in. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day, another sports card video. Hopefully that everybody is doing amazingly well. The divisional playoff has not gone the way that I want it to go so far. Literally, like both teams I wanted to win have lost. The Lions and the Texans. Today we've got more football, so I want to get this out before we get into the games. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, DC Sports 87. I can sign a lot of cards. I've consigned probably hundreds of cards over the last couple of years, maybe even 1,000 graded cards over the last couple of years. It's always been a really easy process, lightning fast payouts. Can't say enough good things about DC Sports 87 for eBay consignment. PSA prices have moved up and you've never submitted. You're like, I'm not going to do it now. Well, you still can with $25 off your first order. One card minimum. So if you just want to try out PSA and you'd rather have that $25 back, take $25 off. SCD25 promo code at the shipping and billing screen. I've got a link down below that can take you there as well. In today's hobby world, every dollar counts. $25 off your first submission over at PSA. So not even just with card shows, but this has been kind of like that thing that's been staring all of us right in the face over the last few years. Hiding in plain sight, is that the phrase? Pokemon and TCG have really grown dramatically here over the last few years. And I think I know a couple of reasons for that. We're going to talk about that. And it shows, I noticed at my Raleigh show, it is literally like 60% now Pokemon cards. And there's some other TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh! And that sort of a thing, but it used to be like 80-20, like 80% sports cards, 20% Pokemon. And now it's probably 60% Pokemon, 40% sports cards. That's what it feels like anyway. If you have an interest in Pokemon investing in quotations talk or speculation talk, on the Collectibles Dad YouTube channel, that's all I'm doing now on my second channel, is talking about different plays and things in the Pokemon space that I think are really interesting. It's also been a cool way for me and my 9-year-old to connect. He's big into Pokemon, so this has been kind of cool. Like, he's like, ooh, what do we get today, Dad? One big one, and we talk about kind of the next generation of card collectors, trading card collectors. The next gen is a lot of Pokemon card collectors. When we talk about families coming in and buying into trading cards, yeah, some of them are buying sports cards, absolutely, but what percentage are buying Pokemon cards versus sports cards? And when we're talking about the youth and kind of those younger age groups, again, keep in mind the nostalgia for Pokemon cards, it's really like late 30s and downward. You know, that my brother was collecting Pokemon cards and he's 38. That was kind of his wheelhouse. I'm a little bit older than him, 6 years ahead of him. So I missed that. That wasn't a thing for me. I was too old and I just didn't care about it. I still don't understand it completely, to be honest. The phenomenon that is Pokemon. It's the same characters in each set for the most part. Of course, you got a trading card game attached to it. You've got video games attached to it, movies and shows. It's currently the best-selling brand globally. So there's a lot to be said for this Pokemon thing. Let's look at new product pricing. This is something I talk about a lot on the channel. Some folks don't like that I talk about it, but it's like, guys, let's talk about the obvious thing that's going to stop the sports card hobby from really having extensive growth, and it is the price point to get in for new product for people that want to open packs. If we talk about trading cards, look, over the last 40, 50 years, when I got into the hobby, when I was 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, I opened packs. That's what you do. So people that are getting back in, they're like, okay, cool. How can we open packs? And then they see how much boxes cost on the sports card side, and they're like, wow. And then they look at what they actually get back in return from those sports card boxes and new product, and it's rough. And then on top of that, a lot of the distribution is done through breaks. And look, I know a lot of adults will say like, the gamble is fun, and that's fun occasionally to do, and it's part of the game. I've heard that. It's part of the sports card game, is this new gambling thing. Not every parent looks at it like that. Not every mom and dad is looking at that breaking thing and going, that's pretty cool. Let's all do this together as a family. I mean, there's a lot of dads like myself, moms too, that look at it and they're like, can we just buy the individual cards? Can we get packs cheap? Like, how can we do this? The Pokemon side, their answer is rip and ships. So this is basically a personal break. You buy packs from a website, your favorite streamer, or you buy a box and your favorite streamer opens up the contents of your stuff and then ships your stuff to you. So it kind of opens the packs for you. But there's no randomization to it in the sense that it's like on the sports card side where like a PYT where it's like, oh, I got the Chicago Bulls, or oh, I got the Hornets, or whatever. There's no randomization. It's just you buy the packs, they open it, they send you the stuff. It's a personal break. Now, there is gambling stuff on the Pokemon side as well. There is that for sure, but it's not even close to what we see on the sports card side. So this, again, for me, for new product I'm talking about, this is why I really solely operate in the singles market when it comes to sports cards, buying them and selling them, because the new world, the new product world, I'm not interested in it. I'm just not interested in trying to get that big pull. I don't care. Look, if I want to do that, I'll play slots. I'll go get the scratch-off ticket at the gas station, the lotto ticket. I'll put my lotto numbers in. I'm just not interested in that. Now, on the Pokemon card side, new product, if families want to buy packs, they can buy individual packs, usually in the neighborhood. It depends of kind of the time period we're talking about, but anywhere from maybe $3 a pack to anywhere up to $25 a pack. But we're talking about like the hottest set, like Evolving Skies, being more like $25 a pack. If we're looking at product over the last 4 or 5 years, that's kind of the steady, $5 to $10 a pack is kind of what it is. On the sports card side, you buy a hobby box. On the Pokemon side, a hobby box or a booster box that's got 36 packs in it. It might be, $120, it might be $150, it might be $200, but it's for 36 packs. So if you run the numbers on that, even if it's $200 a box for a popular Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet set, break that down over 36 packs, still not too bad. Base cards in Pokemon are not worthless or useless, whereas in sports cards, you're searching for the hits. Base cards, a new product, nobody wants it. Maybe a base rookie card for a certain player, but man, what percentage of the base cards out of the new product are getting collected and thrown in binders and completing sets with? 1%? Probably less than that. On the Pokemon side, there is utility to those base cards. And then finally, overall demand for Pokemon in general and Pokemon cards is higher than it is in sports cards. It just is. Even though Pokemon's only 25 years old, the trading card game, it is still a huge, huge property. And as I learn more and more about it, I can see why families, again, cost of entry, and that's a thing that I think if you're Topps, if you're Panini, there's such a heavy focus on bringing out the next high-end set. The next high-end set where we're trying to get the next huge card that's going to sell at auction. Ken Golden's going to prop it up and he's going to sell it off. It's a new Wembenyama set. There needs to be more focus on lower dollar products for card collectors. The average card collector cannot afford a $1,000 hobby box. The average family, when they look at getting into the space, they're looking at the cost of the boxes and they're thinking like, man, this is rough. But here's the thing, people would pay up if there was better chances at cards that were worthwhile, and there just isn't on the sports card side. When you look at the average box that's open, and this isn't news to anybody for new product. If you open packs, if you open boxes or you enter into breaks, you are going to lose money overall. Unless you're a first timer, you get lucky on that first one. For the most part, if that's something you do on a regular basis, that's a losing proposition, and you just have to be okay with that because that's part of the game. That's what I hear. That's part of the game. It doesn't have to be part of the game if you don't want to participate in it, but that's exactly what's happened with Pokemon cards gaining traction over sports cards for new product. It's that they don't want to be part of that gambling game. They're not interested in it. They just want to buy singles of Pokemon cards, buy boxes, just want to buy trading cards. Make it easy. Make it easy. Different price points. And there's just not enough low dollar product for people to open packs with. But look, what sports cards does have, and I love sports cards, is it's got a rich history, 100 plus years of great cards to go collect. So there's always going to be tons of demand for sports cards. But I think people need to really take a hard look, whether you're a show promoter, whether you're a sports card manufacturer, whether you're a grading company, and look at why is it that TCG now makes up half of PSA's grading every single month. That used to not be the case, by the way. That used to not be the case. And you can't blame it on some boom that's happened. Oh, it's just some manipulated market. It's been going on for years now at PSA where it's literally 500,000 or 600,000 cards a month that are TCG cards that are getting graded. It's not happening by accident. It is a reaction to the market. Industry as a whole right now is really taking for granted the customer. They think that 90% of customers are going to come in and lose on a break and keep coming back. They're going to keep coming back. Customers are stupid. They're just going to keep coming back. They're going to open up a $500 hobby box and they're going to get $50 of cards out of it. And they're just going to keep doing that over and over again, right? So you think that that's how you're going to keep people? And we're talking about 10xing the hobby. You'll be really lucky just to keep the people that are here, let alone bringing on new people that are going to take on that kind of risk. It's really a serious thing. We're in a boom market for sports cards right now in a lot of different levels. There's a lot of really cool collecting spaces. There's a lot of great things going on in the industry. But man, on the new product side, how distribution is being done, they're making their money now, but it's short-term thinking. Long-term, I think we really need to take a look in the mirror and figure out, like, is this going to last? People are going to do this? Because I don't think that they will. And I think it's a big reason why you're seeing families move over to Pokemon over sports cards here. So let me know your thoughts, friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll talk to you again later.